when this DLC initially launched, I was actually kind of impressed because it was the most we had gotten in a long time on day one of a DLC. But over time, as the drip feed, quote unquote, started getting released, I started to realize that was why. They had basically taken most of the content from the whole update, released it at the start, and because of that, it didn't seem like there was much drip feed left. And on one hand, I kind of get why Rockstar did that. They wanted to draw in a bunch of people, given that this was probably going to be the almost final DLC of GTA Online. There is still going to be at least one more update this summer. We know that much. And given what was in this update, I do kind of get that they wanted to get people's attention. But I do think the drip feed of this DLC has suffered as a result. So let's talk about it. The DLC launched with the mansions. We got missions. We got missions with Avi, with like the whole no way thing, and we finally got the first playable mission with Michael. Michael makes a return in this DLC, and that's cool. The mansions were something that were requested by players for a long time, and while they're not as customizable as the penthouse like I would have hoped, they are still very much customizable. The vehicles are good. I don't have any big complaints there, but I do think they could have been more polished, like especially the two police vehicles that we just got recently. The stoner survivals are not like I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be actual missions, but that's not the case. In any case, I don't know what to say. I tried to play a survival today when I signed in, I was but I died on the first wave because I was still new to it, and now I can't go back and retry it. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to go and try it again tomorrow. Anyway, so I don't really know what to say there. I'm sure it's fine. I think the biggest complaint I have so far is that excuse me. I think the biggest complaint I have so far is just that these aren't really is that this update just wasn't very polished, but that is unfortunately just what has been happening with every GTA Online DLC lately. And it made me think, I really, really hope this is not a sign of what GTA 6 Online is going to be like. Like, I don't have any real fears about the story of GTA 6. I think the story mode's going to be fine. If RER2 is anything to go by, what I'm worried about is the online for GTA 6 when that does eventually drop. And I just really hope that the lack of polish and just the mess that is GTA Online currently is not a sign of GTA 6 online going forward. Like, it bothers me because I don't know. Like, I get that it's mostly because they're pouring resources into 6 that GTA Online has not seen the care that it used to, but at the same time, it's crazy. It's crazy that this is like $1 billion company we're talking about, right? And for some reason, they're not able to split resources evenly between the two. Now, I'm not going to ramble too much about that because I'm sure other people have talked about this way more in depth than I ever could. But I do think I think it's a conversation worth having. Overall, including drip feed and just now having seen everything that this DLC has, I'm going to give the update a 6 out of 10. And yes, I am dropping the score down from my initial impressions because, as I've said, I'm very disappointed that the drip feed was just so lackluster. In my honest opinion, I think the DLC should have released with less at the start and then drip fed evenly over the next 6 months. So, for instance, maybe instead of launching with like the bulk of the cars and all the obby missions and the mansions, maybe you should have launched with the mansions and a few cars, and then the obby missions would have been drip fed as a chunk, kind of like how the Cluck and Bell was drip feed for that update, or how The Oscar Guzman missions were drip feed for that one. Stuff like that. Like, I think they should have had a much steadier release planned out. The Sonar Survivals make sense to have released in April because, 420, haha. The the police vehicles made sense to drop as part of like a community event. Like, I don't have any complaints there. I think releasing them as part of a 2 week event, I think that was a good idea. But like the vehicles, I think they should have had a week planned for each of the drip feed vehicles. So like, for instance, for instance, they drip feed one vehicle, they have like an event planned around that. They drip feed the police vehicles, they have 2 weeks planned around that since there's two vehicles. For the like, just as an example, I just think Rockstar needs to be a bit. I think they need to pace themselves better when it comes to drip feed. Anyway, but that's all I have to say. I'm keeping this review short because I have another video planned. I finally figured out what kind of a video I want to make. But to make it, I'm going to have to record a lot of footage. And not only am I struggling to find motivation to make videos again, but I also have to like prepare myself to record a bunch of footage because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in the video I have planned. This video is just off the cuff, and I made it because I did want to talk about the DLC and I wanted to talk about how the Mansions update could have been handled a bit better. But that's it for now. I'm going to get back to what I was doing. I got other stuff planned as well off screen. So that's it for now. I'm out.